Everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Atlanta Sports Special. Today, we are honored with a very special guest to talk about the MLS and the Atlanta United season coming up. And then we have Kenny and I speaking about other Atlanta sports that are going on in the area. Again, appreciate you guys listening, and let's get it.
Yeah, ATL on the rise, you know how we do. Beach tree dreams, dirty birds flying through. From the gridiron to the diamond, courts to the pitch. We reppin' ATL sports, every team, every niche. ATL, where the flames ignite. From Truist Park to the bins at night. Dreams take flight, hearts soar high. United we stand, reaching for the sky.
What's going on, everybody? Good morning, and welcome back to the Atlanta Sports Special. Kramer and I are gearing up to go boo Trae Young from the stands tonight because we are actually recording this on a Tuesday. We'll be at the game. Kramer, you ready to go see the guy you've hated for so long?
I'm ready to see exactly why we got rid of him. I mean, it's
You actually won't see him on the court, so that's why we got rid of him. He's actually had an MCL sprain.
Oh, exactly. So exactly why we got rid of him. Yeah, perfect. Sounds good.
Yeah, won't be on the court. Not great. We're going to stick to baseball, actually, not basketball, to start this day in the A. And Kramer got an exciting one for you. A big thing happened on February 24th of 2018. So not too far back, but, it's almost 10 years now. That puts a date on it.
That one hurt. That one hurt.
Ronald Acuna made his spring ball debut for the Braves. Also, Kyle Wright did, too, which, Kyle Wright was a great pitcher when we had him. A little bit inconsistent, but still a great guy who had some big moments for the Braves. But Ronald Acuna, pretty special.
That's a historic fact right there, considering he is going to go down as maybe one of the. His jersey is going to be up there with Chipper Jones.
If we do what we should do, and we make him a Brave for life, he'll absolutely have his jersey retired in the stadium. And if he continues on this trajectory without injuries, he should be a Hall of Famer. We'll see.
I think the city would burn if they didn't keep him in Atlanta for the rest of his career.
After what happened with Freddie, I think there would be an actual uprising. I know I'd be a part of it. I'd go out and throw some stones, protest a bit.
We'd be mad. Oh yeah, for sure.
Be heated. I'd be more than mad. I'd be really upset with our team. But Alex Anthopoulos has given me no hope to think he's actually going to get this guy signed. So let's talk about it.
Yeah. Yes. Speaking of the Braves, we have started spring training. We've been a couple games in, looking fairly decent.
Yeah, Braves have started out the spring training pretty solid at 2-1. Records don't really matter. We're really trying to get a feel, obviously, for players. You're only going to see starters maybe playing the first 3 to 4 innings, getting two maybe 3 at bats. But there are a few things to point out that have been really good to start. The move to get Mike Yastrzemski is seeming to already be paying off. He has had a hot bat in spring to start the season off, which I think everybody was excited about. Mike Yastrzemski of all the offseason moves. It was kind of like hey, this is a no-brainer. Can fill an outfield role and be a DH, whichever one we need him to do. But really, really good start to the season. Braves beat the Rays 5-1. Had a great first spring training game, and then turned right around and got our tails whipped by the Twins, which wasn't great. Atlanta's offense really struggled. And then after that, we played the Orioles, and in that game, something really exciting happened. The Braves have picked up Jorge Mateo. We were hoping he could be one of those guys competing for a shortstop position. He's actually a former Oriole himself. Came up and actually hit a grand slam in the 6th inning in a game where we actually scored 8 runs in said 6th inning to ultimately beat the Orioles 10-7. So really good stuff. Again, you want to see there's a huge spread across these scores, Kramer. I'm sure you can tell from what I'm saying. Braves score 5 runs, then 1, then 10. They give up 1, then 8, then 7.
That's just the Braves way,
somewhat. And then baseball is tricky, man. Sometimes guys are just seeing it better on certain days, and sometimes not. Our pitchers have their best stuff.
Yeah,
we do want to see those numbers kind of offensively score as many runs as you want, but from the pitching
I will say
the
past. I know it's not full starters and everything like that, But the past year and a half, 2 years, I mean, the Orioles bats have been hot. I mean,
Yeah.
that team has been it's a very young team. I mean, everyone was hoping they make a nice playoff push last year, and now they're in this position where, these guys are getting older on their team and they've been hitting incredible. I mean, they got that Gunther guy, right? That guy's a star in the making for sure.
Yeah. Orioles are a great squad, man. Actually, of all the teams we've played, like we've already played the Rays, which is going to be a good team this year too. It's interesting, man. Like spring ball's fun to watch because it gets you excited. Like we got to see Drake Baldwin his first home run too. I don't know, Kramer, what you think about this. I'd be interested to hear, but it's kind of like it's a little bit different than the NFL, right?
Yeah.
Where like
for sure.
Preseason, like you do want to see some
Yeah.
first half wins, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like spring ball, you're really looking at players individually more so, like how they're developing, how they're playing, where it's not as much of a team effort. Tell me, what do you think about that? Like, am I wrong for saying that, or?
I mean, I guess it's the only like similarity I think with that is when you're looking at players individually, I think it's the only people that like were drafted at high capital in the NFL that you see in the preseason that are under a microscope, because obviously any person drafted within, the first couple rounds, within the first 4 rounds, they're not getting dropped. I mean, they spent too much value getting that person. So they're under a microscope though, and you hear every announcer talk about it and anything like that, where that's similar in football, or similar in baseball, but in the same stance. The difference there is that, you go into spring ball almost knowing exactly who your roster is already, and you're kind of just seeing how the new chemistry is of new players and things like that. Whereas the NFL, in the preseason, you can have a guy score, go for 85 yards, 1 touchdown in the second half of a meaningless game against the Detroit Lions, and that guy will get cut the next week just because something went weird.
Or like that running back for the Cardinals. I mean, that was actually in the regular season, who fumbled in like the second game, and he immediately got cut.
Oh, DeMacaro? Yeah, don't get me started, dude.
It is, it's funny, like the Braves, like you mentioned, like obviously like our starting rotation is almost set. Like you have little pieces we're watching, like who's going to be really playing at shortstop. Who can we fill at shortstop? Who's going to be our DH versus like every day? Well, not every day, but trying to start more often than not left fielder. It's really like there's like only a few position battles. And it's also a difference between the NFL. Well, some people would argue this is a difference, is when it comes to pitching, like you don't want your pitchers coming out on opening day not having had some starts, right? But they don't need to be going, obviously, 6, 7, even 5 innings in the spring. Like they'll come in and pitch 2 or 3.
Right.
It's almost like the quarterback thing. Like everyone's pissed off that Michael Penix didn't play a lick in the spring training games, right? Or in the preseason for the NFL.
Yeah, which
it can be kind of cold, right?
Yeah. Well, the Falcons have been doing that for the past,
yeah, since Vic.
I mean, they've just never been playing their starters, and we see issues every year regarding that.
Yeah, I mean, there's also been a system issue, but we can kind of talk about that in a little bit. But ultimately, Mike Yastrzemski, Drake Baldwin, they've been hitting early. Goodness gracious, excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. But yeah, it's ultimately like it's a good start to spring. If you look at it across the board, it's good to get some momentum with winning spring games, even though asterisks, obviously. Good to see some guys coming back, playing healthy. And obviously it's good to see a lot of guys we don't know in the later innings just trying to earn some spots on the AAA team, be trade pieces, or ultimately try to secure a spot as a backup or even a starting shortstop right now. It looks like Dubon's going to be the starter, but this is very exciting to see Mateo coming out here and ripping a grand slam in a big spot. It's awesome.
It's a momentum builder for sure.
Yeah, that's talking Braves. That's all I got. Unless you got something else.
Nah. There might be something else, but we'll explore that later once a deal gets done. But let's go ahead with the Hawks, man. The Hawks are kind of on a nice little streak here.
Yeah, the Hawks have been playing some good ball post All-Star break, and I actually ran into Beecham at a bonfire event. I say I ran into him. It was at his house. So I'm glad he was there. Glad he could be there for it. And he comes up to me and he's like, Hawks are going to make a huge tear in the second half to start off. And I was like, I think you're right. Like, truthfully, I think you're right. And it's all about chemistry. Tonight, we could see the first minutes of Kuminga on the team as well, which would be very exciting.
I like him. I've always thought he's a decently young player. I mean, and
Talented young guy.
For him to be coming out of the system of the Warriors just makes me feel confident, because it's like, dude, anybody that's been under like Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, all those guys over there, it's like there's no way he didn't retain anything, because he was definitely getting some good advice over there.
Yeah, even if you learn just how to kick someone the ball is harder from Draymond, it's like you're learning something that can be applicable to the league, right?
If we got somebody that's the next Draymond Green, I'd actually really enjoy that, because
don't you feel like Jock Landale could play that role?
I thoroughly enjoyed Draymond Green, and I love. People are like, everybody hates him. But I've always loved Draymond Green. I was like, he makes basketball entertaining. I don't know what to tell you.
Zaza Pachulia was Draymond before Draymond.
Oh yeah,
like that guy was good for 5 points.
2 technicals,
8 rebounds, and 5 good hard fouls. Again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Zaza was the man. I met him actually at a BB&T tennis tournament one time, and he was the nicest guy in the world. Nicest guy ever. He was literally going to the Bobcats right after that, when they were the Bobcats. And I was like, hey, Zaza. He like stood up, like walked out of his little area to come talk to a fan. I thought it was really cool. It's hard to miss him, though. I mean, he's like 6'11", big dude. Great for those fouls. Back to current Hawks, though. Started off with 2 wins, kicking it off since the All-Star break, which is great. Beat the 76ers 117-107 with Jalen Johnson having 32, 10, and 5, which was awesome. CJ McCollum is really come on. I'm so happy that a guy with his star power has accepted the role of, like, we need you to lead the second unit. Like, we need you when, like, there's been scoring droughts traditionally when this second unit gets on the court. And he's really took it off of me. He scored 23 in that game. In the game just happened against the Brooklyn Nets, he had 16 and 8 in a game against a Brooklyn team that struggled all season, and really gave Atlanta it never stopped punching until the very end. Mm-hmm. So really good performance down the stretch. Also, Jalen Johnson again, 26 and 12. This guy he's
just unstoppable right now.
Unreal, and he does it in such a gritty way. Like, you know what I mean? He's on the boards. He's crashing to the rim all the time, too. He's not just like sitting around the perimeter hitting fadeaway jump shots, which he can do.
26 points, missed every single one of his threes.
Yep.
So imagine he hits those two. Like,
oh, man, he's in 35s, pushing 40 if he just hits 4 of those. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's special. And it also looks like, to the credit of the Hawks announcers, too, and Neek over there, they said it looks like he's got his confidence back. He absolutely does. He came back from that All-Star game, kind of has a little bit of a chip and a little bit of moxie again that I think was starting to fade when they were struggling in those losses. So really good stuff. I mean, honestly, it's just like Hawks playing good basketball. We've played 76ers, which is a good opponent. We played the Nets, who stink. We are on a bit of a home tear right now. Obviously, we're playing tonight against the Wizards, which is a kind of must-win game in general, just because it's the Wizards. They stink. Trae Young's not playing.
Yeah, the implications there is just like, do you think Trae Young probably walks on the court, gets like a standing ovation?
Yeah.
People are pretty happy.
As he should.
But
as he should.
Yeah. Okay.
It wasn't his fault it didn't work out. He tried.
Yeah, true. It was a good separation of parting ways for sure. But yeah, and then I just seen the schedule that we have coming up. I mean, we have the Wizards twice this week, which that should be back-to-back dubs. I don't think there's any issue there. We have the Trailblazers also should be a dub. The Trailblazers have been stinking it up this season.
If the Hawks could come out of the gates out of All-Star break, win 5 in a row and be at 500 or just over it, I mean, that would be a huge momentum swing for us trying to play into a spot that's not a play-in spot in the second half.
Right, and then we got Bucks, 76ers, Mavericks. I mean, we have a great month of March to play some basketball.
Yeah,
because I mean, our hardest opponent our hardest opponents are near the end of March, and it'd be the Rockets and Pistons because they've
Dude, the
been
Rockets have owned us too. So that's
yeah, they beat the brakes off of us.
you know what it is? They've had all this size. So, I mean, their average starting lineup, I think, is like 6'8".
Yeah.
And now with guys like Jock who can come in when Big O is out, it makes that interior defense a lot more formidable, which is great.
Looking at the rest of our schedule, I mean, I don't see any reason we don't, just barely get over the playing game and we make the playoffs because the teams we're going against are because Joel Embiid, I'm pretty sure is out for the season.
Dude, even if he wasn't, we beat him multiple times, or
Yeah.
we beat him on his comeback game. The Sixers are one of those where I'm like, they got great teams, but we've actually been the one owning them, which is great.
Yeah.
But right now, I mean, listen, we're 2 games behind, sorry, that 7th spot we want to be in.
Right now we're in play-in position,
Yep.
correct?
Yep. So we really want to be where the Sixers are or the Magic are. That's right where we want to be. And it's totally within sights. 3 games. We play the 76ers more. I'm not sure if we played the Heat or Magic more. We played the Magic a ton at the beginning of the season, so I don't know
We play the Magic a lot. Like, I think we still have them 4 more times at the end of the season or near the end. Yep.
Good. Yeah, man. A lot of good stuff to come. A lot of games left, too. So if this Hawks team can establish that identity, we're in a great spot. If they can establish an identity like Kramer's landscaping team establishes their Tuesday morning identity, we'll be in a really good spot.
Yeah, it's funny. They've been doing Wednesday mornings, and now they just decided, hey, you know what? Tuesday, it's nice weather out. Let's get this going today. It's so much better. And the guy's next to my window, just like I guarantee he's looking in, just looking and be like, yeah, I'm gonna mess this guy's day up.
He's like, oh, you were recording? You thought?
You thought? Yeah, exactly. Let's transition to the Falcons as some big news and some tragic news. Only 2 real updates there where we did it. We franchise tagged Kyle Pitts.
Wow.
I was, hey, the front office, we really needed something since the whole James Pierce Jr. situation. So having knowing that we have Kyle Pitts secured at least for another year, which I heard they're going to try to get an extension done by July. So we are getting him back. It sounds like we are in the works of actually trying to get him back, which makes me super confident that this front office, the new front office that we have is already showing signs of, hey, like we like our guys a lot right now. Like we're trying to keep as many of them as possible. Obviously, with Caden Ellis talks in free agency and Tyler Algier, we don't know how sure that is. I don't think we keep either of those 2 guys I just named.
Algier's gone for sure. There's no doubt.
He's just been performing at such a high level at an RB2 that he deserves to go get his shot somewhere and be the guy and get his bag. And he does. But dang, dude, is it going to be like, that's going to be a guy we talk about in 10 years. Be like, dude, remember Tyler Algier? You guys remember Tyler Algier? You guys know ball like that? Yeah. He's going to be one of those ball knowing guys where it's like,
he's going to be with Jarius Norwooders, dude. Like, yo, you were Jarius?
He's going to be like a DeMarco Murray. Where it's like, dang, bro. You remember the heater he went on back in the day? Or
remember when he was an RB2 and had a 1,000-yard season?
Yeah. Do you remember? Dude, do you remember the bowling ball of Atlanta, the wrecking ball of Atlanta? Wow. He's gonna be missed, man. Kyle Pitts though being franchise tagged, that's so massive. I think that's the correct move, especially if we are in serious talks of getting of dropping Kirk Cousins in free agency, which I'm not sure where he's gonna go. I'm not even sure what our quarterback issue. We don't have draft capital. We don't have a great draft position anyway. We don't even have our first round pick. So also the quarterbacks this year in the draft are not even great. Like there's 2 that are going to be gone like immediately. And then we can get Carson Beck in probably like the 5th round, which if Carson Beck joins the Atlanta Falcons, we're gonna have to have a serious
I
conversation.
don't think we're gonna draft a quarterback. I could definitely see them
Yeah.
going out and trying to get somebody like Jarrett Stidham, the backup from the Broncos. I could
Yeah,
definitely
Malik
see them.
Washington, the backup
Yeah.
for the Packers. But the thing is like, yeah, I don't know. Like, again, we need to get somebody who's going to be cheap, affordable, and like will give us some good games until we figure out Michael Penix's situation, because Michael Penix, somebody should have PR trained him a little bit better, because as somebody who has extensive history of injury with his knees and things of that such, he should not be doing interviews saying, I'm actually ahead of schedule. Like they're saying, like, I'm making a remarkable recovery with my knees and stuff. Don't
leave it to the experts, Mike. Let them say that for you. You know what I mean?
Don't feed us breadcrumbs in the hopes that we get a loaf of bread, because that's not what's going to happen here. It's just ridiculous.
No, the guy's got to stay positive. I get it, but yikes.
Yeah, he gives the fans something to look forward to, I guess, but don't tell me he's like, oh, I'm actually ahead of schedule. I might be able to get snaps in preseason. I'm like, dude, I'd rather you take your time. Let's figure it out in the meantime and become 100% healthy, and don't rush any injury to come back, because I don't want you coming back at 98%, 95%, and it happens again. And then your career is actually done. Your career is probably off the table.
Yeah, you hear NFL players talk about it all the time. You start a season at 100%, and that's the last time you'll be there for the entire season. Like, it just like, you constantly are getting banged up with little stuff. So if we start with a Michael Penix whose knees are at 82%, like, that doesn't look good for the rest of the season. I just it's okay to admit this might have been a bad move, to be honest with you.
But a healthy person's 82% is a like 45% healthy for him, since his knee history is bad.
Yeah.
So, like, him being at 82 is like a regular person 47. Like, it's not good. A person with healthy knees, it's a 47. Like, it's not great.
Kyle Pitts' knees are the equivalent of like just shoving a dude with 2 eye patches that has a little hole in it, being like, yeah, you can drive. You can probably get there. You can probably get there.
Yeah.
You've ridden in this road and in this car enough. You probably feel it out.
But let's go ahead and talk about something a little bit more serious, which was absolutely heartbreaking news. On Saturday, we, the NFL world was shocked to get news that wide receiver for the Atlanta Falcons, Rondale Moore, had tragically passed away from issues concerning his mental health. And I guess the first thing I just want to say is, it is just tragically struck the team. I've been keeping up with the other players' stories and the posts that they're making, and other players and posts around the league of what they're saying. And I guess the only thing I really want to emphasize to make light of such a tragic and terrible situation is that hold your loved ones close. You never know what somebody else is going through. Men's mental health is, they say a man kills himself. It's like every 3 minutes or something in the United States. It's one of the leading causes of death for people ages 20 through like 45 for men. Talk to somebody. Always reach out. Make sure you hold your loved ones close. You never know. Again, you never know what someone's going through. From my understanding, he was just like the most cheerful guy, was always very talkative, always reached out and spoke to people. And it was a complete shock. He showed no signs whatsoever. And, most people don't. It's talk to your friends, man. Tell them you love them.
Yeah. And remember too, like, the strongest thing you can do in a moment when you are experiencing issues of mental health, especially as a man, is to reach out for help. Like, if you don't have someone that you truly trust to drop that information on, we'll see if we can post some stuff about places you can seek help from. But one thing I want to say is, like, do not be afraid to ask for help. Every single one of us, especially men and the pressures that we face nowadays specifically, it's like you have to have someone you can lean on and talk to. and don't be afraid to reach out and let them know you're struggling. I guarantee you most men are struggling with the same thoughts, same pressures too.
If I I mean, if anybody listening to this is ever going through anything, DM us, dude. We'll talk to you. I'll call you
Yeah,
on the
dude.
phone. I will
Yeah.
personally call you on the phone because I would rather, I mean, if I know you, if I don't know you, I'd rather sit there up till 3 a.m. talking to you on the phone than putting my hand on your coffin because
Yeah.
Lord knows I've been there and it's terrible. It's a sad feeling, you know.
Yeah.
It's very tragic, you know. Prayers out to the family, prayers out to the Falcons community, prayers out to you know, any you know, friends and family in general that were close with him because it is such a tragic and sad thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we may not know all y'all, but we love all y'all. Seriously, when it comes to this kind of stuff, it's nothing more important than taking care of yourself.
Our guy in Russia, we love you. Our guy in India, we love you. Our
Our
guy in
guy in
Italy,
Italy, we
we
love you.
love you. Yeah.
Amore.
Amore, amore. Seriously though, it's you know, the all this crap that's going on in the world, it's so easy to put yourself down. It's so easy to get sad about things. But, you know, talk to your friend, lift yourself up, look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself you love yourself because, you know, a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, these sports stuff, it doesn't really matter that much when you put it in perspective. This is all just meant to be fun. Let's
Yeah,
all enjoy it.
100%.
There's a bigger reason we're here.
Absolutely. Um, anyway, that's, you know, that last thing I wanted to touch on. You got
Yeah.
anything to send us
No,
off?
dude, let's cue it up for you and your buddy. Had a great conversation about
Yes,
the Atlanta United.
sir.
I
And
know that'll be great.
if you noticed, we did not talk about Atlanta United. That's because we have a very special guest, Mr. Evan Newsome, to come on and talk to us, and we're going to go there right now. Hello, everybody, and thank you for listening to another episode of the Atlanta Sports Special. Today, we have a very special guest to talk MLS Atlanta United as the season has kicked off this past weekend. Let me introduce you all to my good friend, Mr. Evan Newsome. How are you, man? How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing well, man. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I talked about this a little bit before, but I want the people to know that this is how my appearance on this show came about. You sent this text to myself and a friend and said, "Would you say you two are pretty big Atlanta United fans? Do you keep up with news and stuff? Could you easily carry a conversation about the current team and whatnot?" Our friend Wright said, "Not really." To the second part, you said, "Evan," and I said, "Absolutely not." So anytime that I don't know the answer, I'm gonna pull her up, and we're gonna defer to this because when it comes to Atlanta United, I do not claim to know shit about fuck.
That's totally fair. And you know what? That also being said, this is more of a Kenny and has never even been to a game.
Hell yeah.
I don't think he's ever watched a game on TV, let alone. I myself, you and I have been to a couple
We've
games
been to
together.
games.
Yeah, we've been to some games together. We've watched some good ball. However, you know, we're both taking this season as, you know, Atlanta sports hosts to really dive into it more and try to learn more about not only MLS and like how Atlanta United plays and how the league goes, but soccer in general. So, you know,
It's a big year for it.
because the
World Cup's
past
coming.
2 years we've had injuries, we've had nothing but bad gameplay. It's been, I mean, you can go ahead and take it from there because I believe I asked the second part of that is you yourself stopped paying attention because of last season or so.
Yeah, so a couple years ago, well, first off, I went to a bunch of games the inaugural season. It was awesome. We went to Bobby Dodd Stadium. That was like, it was right on the heels of just an abysmal Falcons Super Bowl performance. The city needed something different. And Atlanta United came in and offered that for a lot of people. So I was a pretty big fan then. Obviously, part of the 2018 MLS Cup win that we had. I was, a fan then. Started to fall off a bit, and then really picked back up like 3-4 years ago. I was like, okay, I'm gonna recommit myself to being an Atlanta United fan, and I started watching the games. I started listening to coverage. Shout out Doug Robertson of the AJC, who used to cover Atlanta United. And then last year, I was like, this is it. I told my wife, I was like, we're going to set up a TV on our back porch, and MLS or every Atlanta United game that we can. We're gonna watch outside. And then like 2 games in, I was like, something feels off. Something doesn't feel too good about this whole sport that we're watching. And then Atlanta United had like probably one of the worst seasons they've ever had. I would say arguably the worst season they've ever had last season. Now, I want to set the stage because I don't know how much you followed any of the news or if that's just what I'm here for, but the stage is now set for what's supposed to be like a redemption arc. Like that's what people are talking about.
So we have spoken about that a little bit, of course, with the re-signing of our old former coach who we won the MLS Cup with, Tata. Which, I mean, that's massive, right? If it's not broke, don't fix it. And turns out, like, us not signing him back in the day on a new contract, letting him walk. Actually, I believe we fired him. No,
I think I think he walked.
We
let him walk because it was right after the MLS Cup. I don't know if we would have fired him after a win.
Right. And then, I don't know, I also heard rumors about Martinez coming back, possibly, but I'm not sure if that's accurate, or I could be totally wrong on that. We've spoken a little bit of just, some of the news we've heard, the draft that happened and who they've been recruiting a little bit in the offseason. Also that they built a brand new, build a brand new training facility, but they've added 150 to 200,000 square feet to their training facility, which is just insane.
Yeah, it's wild. I think there's a lot of stuff that goes hand in hand this year with Atlanta being a big World Cup destination too.
Mm-hmm.
There's just money pouring in. I don't know if it's from like the Saudis or what, but it feels like there's just a lot of money being dumped into a lot of the cities that are hosting World Cup games for soccer facilities. So it sounds like good timing. And I wish we had recorded this podcast a week ago because I would have been super chipper and upbeat and like, hey, hell yeah, look at us. We're on our way. And then we had our first game against Cincinnati, who's a good team, like a really good team.
Go and give us a little bit of recap on that game and maybe some of your thoughts, because you did text me the day of the game.
Yeah.
I believe you texted me right after the game happened. You texted me the final score and said, "Oh, we might be cooked this season."
Yeah, dude. And I'll go back even further. So like we talked about it a little bit. We had new signings. We got Tata returning. There's a lot of talk about like what his coaching style was going to be. Oh, I glazed over my favorite thing. But Brad Guzan, who was my favorite player, he was our captain and our goalkeeper since the beginning, left the team and has come back on in like a front office role. And he's I
didn't know that. Oh my gosh. Dude. Oh my gosh,
super
that's massive.
I'm going to look up what the official role is, but he's basically taking on a front office role where he's going to be working as the it's doing like it'd be like analyst work. So he's going to be looking at like reports. He's going to be looking at scouting reports. He's just going to be kind of seeing the data as it stands with field experience. But then he's also going to be working as the club ambassador. So if you ever wanted to reach out to the team to have someone speak on the podcast, Brad Guzan is one of the people they would consider. So it's like he's going to be doing media appearances. He'll be going out to like volunteer stuff like that. So
can I tell you just my favorite story I have of him that made me fall in love with the team? In general, I was like already, a new Atlanta sports team. Of course, I'm going to support. The first game I ever went to, he came out of the box and headbutted another player straight in the nose. It got ejected within like the first 20 minutes. We ended up losing, and I was hooked. I was like, I love this guy. He came out. So this guy, I guess the striker that's been on him all game has just been like chirping or something, and he just said, all right. I came up, headbutted him straight in the face.
Fucking gold, dude. I'm a big Goose fan. Goose, as a fellow bald man, represents the pack well. But yeah, he's back in front office.
He had a long career too, man.
Huge career, very long. Mm-hmm. And I think he played World Cup for the United States.
Yeah, he was second team for the World Cup. He was on the right in the bench. But yeah, he I think that was the 2010. 20 something like that. I can't recall, but yeah, he was there. He's been in the league for a minute. I mean, I only knew him as Atlanta United, but when he retired, I went and looked through his career, and I was like, oh, he's been at it for quite a while.
Yeah. Yeah. So with Goose back, Tata back, we're playing. We've had Miguel Elmer on, but he's also one of the original, like founding players that we brought back. Um, he's our captain now, in place of Goose. It felt like it would be a really good opening game. And I will say, after I texted you, I went back and watched highlights of the game, and I don't think we're cooked, but I don't think it's like out the gate. I don't believe the hype. I've also heard from this club in this city and every team in this city before that, like, this is our redemption year, and I'm just very
Oh,
cautiously
no.
optimistic. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
no. Yeah,
Um,
well, it's an Atlanta sports team. Whenever
and
somebody says that, it's
uh,
we're typically
it's
pretty
cursed.
cooked. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
typically not doing well. I mean,
Um,
look at the
it's,
Falcons this past year.
speaking
Everyone
on the
said Michael.
Falcons,
Uh-oh.
I was going to say, does them hiring Guzan in a front office role not feel very similar? And it's Arthur Blank's choice who made that hire. Feels super similar to something else that happened with the Falcons with Matt Ryan.
Yeah, it sounds. That's why when you just told me that, I mean, I made that connection. It was just like bringing back Matt Ryan to be the president of football. Now you got Guzman over here as in an administrative role. The one thing I would want to say about that is that I'm glad they took the Rich McKay off of the front office for the Falcons. However, from my knowledge, he's still in the front office for Atlanta United.
Yeah, he's still involved with Mercedes-Benz Entertainment. I think he's moved off of the Falcons. And I know that as an organization, just money and scope wise, that Atlanta United's a lot smaller than the Falcons. So I don't know
He
if
was
that
in
means
charge of a
he's
lot of the roster changes, and he was in charge of a lot of how the coaching and everything went administrative wise last year. And it's just very ironic that they had their worst season ever, and the Falcons the past couple years have been bad. I mean, past 10 years have been bad under his ruling, and I'm hoping. I haven't seen anything where his position from Atlanta United has moved, but it seems like, if they're getting all this hype and something of the matter happens like with the Falcons this year where they just completely tank, they have to kick him off again. They might have to remove him from the city.
You're going to have to remove him from the state, dude.
Dude,
It's crazy.
How many chances can we give this guy?
He's got plenty. Well, and I think it's like, I don't know. I never pay attention enough to like how the like front office organization stuff works. Like, I don't know who makes some of these choices. I think a lot of the stuff that happened with Atlanta United was coaching and culture last year. From what I've read, it was a lot of like, we had a lot of really good star players, elite guys that were getting paid a ton of money who like, a third of the way into the season were just like, I'm going to give this like 50%. And they could, because they were making a ton of money and they knew that they were going to be off the team in a couple months and they were looking to get traded. So it's like there was a lot of that behavior. This season, with all of that history and all that background that we talked about, started with this away game versus Cincinnati. We lost 2-0, but both goals were scored in the last 12 minutes by Cincinnati. I think it was like the 82nd minute and the 90th minute.
So they gave up essentially.
Yeah, so it didn't,
or they got fatigued. I'm not sure how you want to put that. Maybe
they
fatigue sounds better, but they
we
couldn't
brought
finish.
we brought on a couple new guys towards the very end as subs. One of them was 17 years old, and he crushed it. But just like we had to bring on new guys. Our stars that we were really hyped about played a strong but contested first half, and then we had 55% possession the whole game, which is pretty solid. But we also had 0 shots on target. Like, we didn't have a single decent attempt that even looked like it was headed for the net.
So we were looking for possession and trying to just play defense.
Yeah, I think they were just trying to play safe and see what they could try to make with opportunity, which is interesting because Tata's previous strategy has always been like an old, the original seasons, the first 2, inaugural seasons was like attack heavy. That was his game. It was like, we're just going to come out and attack. So you'd see these games where it was like 7-4. And it's like, we won, but like, he was just going ham. He does like a pressing possession style. So just like push really, really hard and then hold on to the ball in there, in the team's upper part of the field. But yeah, that's what it's a little bit what it looks like, but more defensive, a little bit calmer. Maybe between him and Almiron now having 8 more years of experience under his belt. Our striker, Latte Loth, who's a beast, also was playing a little bit more coy. So I texted you we might be cooked, but I've since come back and I'm
So
cautiously optimistic.
you say Tata, like, from his previous playing styles over the years, you're looking at how he played in this, the first game of the season. Of course, this isn't the team he left in Atlanta, right? This is
Yeah.
not. This is a brand new. It's a younger team. I mean, there's some veterans on the team. Don't get me wrong, but it's a lot of young guys. So, would you say the way he played this game, maybe that safer approach is more of him trying to figure out what chemistry he still has on this team? Because I mean, he got signed about 2 months ago, so he had two and a half months ago. So he has had limited time to really be with this team as compared to an NFL head coach, where when they get signed, it's usually like before the first season's even over. So let alone them being able to go to the spring or go to the draft and things like that. So in this sense, would you somewhat say that maybe he's still trying to figure out the chemistry or trying to figure out what his players even really look like in a skill-based setting?
100%. And not only was he recently signed 2 months ago, but you also had Tomas Jacob, who's our new right back, and Elias Baez, who's a center back. So like midfield defending positions, all of them were signed in the last like 3 weeks. So this was a team of like brand new guys. What sucks about this narrative is that how much do you know about away games versus home games in Major League Soccer? Like, do you know about like the depth of that impact?
No, I don't. What's the big difference?
Away games, MLS home win rate is 49 to 53%. The away win rate is 22 to 26%. It's like a massive disparity. You basically have a 1 in 4 chance, statistically speaking, of winning an away game across all teams in the league. Now, I heard that stat and I'm still breaking down in my head, like, shouldn't those numbers just like equal 100 when put together? So I don't.
Yeah,
do you know what
got
I
me
mean?
there. I was confused. I was like, "What are we talking about?" I was like, "Oh, maybe he meant 22 to 26%, or you meaning just like a 22% win to 26% loss, or?"
No, what I'm reading here is MLS home win rates are 49 to 53%, and away win rates are 22 to 26%. So like you on average win half of your home games, but on your away games you win a quarter. But obviously that statistic is based off of multiple teams playing. Like, I think this statistic might be wrong, right?
That's not, like
That should
seems
surely
so
mean,
seems like so strangely
hold on.
fabricated and worded.
MLS win rate away games. Footystats.com.
Sounds reliable to me.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, obviously it's showing me stats for this year, of which there has been 1 game per team played. So this is not helpful percentages. Let me look at 2025. Okay, yeah. Your hold on, let me pull this up.
Yeah, no, go for it. I guess another thing I just wanted to ask you while you pull that up is just, you've kind of fallen off the fandom, but as anybody really would, just because Atlanta United isn't a extremely established team, given they have that championship already, but they've barely been around for 10 years now. So they're the newest sports team in Atlanta. I just, comparatively to the past seasons that you've been out on, for you to come back and be that fan, because I remember, like, that's why I reached out to you. I thought you were like the most loyal Atlanta United fan I've ever met, because you were always very interested. You talked about it. You were inviting me to games. So I guess my question here is, what are your expectations for this season to any fan that has kind of fallen off the train a little bit just based on performance?
Yeah, I think speaking for the fair weather-ish, whatever's in the middle of fair weather fan and true fan, which I think is most people that are following Atlanta United. There's so many people that were season ticket holders that last year was they're like, I'm calling it quits the year,
Yeah.
And
My
I think
stepdad was an inaugural MLS or Atlanta United season ticket holder. He has been every year. He's a huge soccer fan, big
Yeah.
Liverpool fan. He was the coach, the coach at the high school you and I went to,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he has 7 state championship rings, and he is in the Georgia Hall of Fame. Like, this is a soccer guy, and
Yeah.
he's been buying season tickets, and this was the year he goes, I'm not doing it this year.
I'm not doing it this year.
He's fed up.
I think what people want to see this year is the first home game. I think they want to see how that goes, and they want to see what the energy is like in there. I think they want to see play calling and game making that feels like plays were called, rather than like this is what I want to see. I want to see like matches where it's like, oh, I could tell that a strategy change that happened maybe, at the halfway point or maybe 60 minutes into the game clearly impacted, the outcome of the game. I think that would show me that, like, oh, there's some people on the sidelines with heads on their shoulders that are making choices that are working for the team. And then I just want to see the front three doing really cool shit. That would bring me back a lot. Even if we're playing poorly, but they're having a good time out there. There's a really great favorite Atlanta United moment was when one of our players went up. I don't know if you know, but like on the sidelines, they all share water bottles. That's kind of like they're placed around the whole field because you're never really in one spot. So you kind of just run up.
Right.
One of
so
our
they
players
keep them in the corners. They keep them behind
exactly
the goal. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. There was one behind the goal, and the opponent's goalkeeper had the ball, and he dropped it to the ground, getting ready to kick it. But because it left his hands, it was fair game. One of our players was back behind the goal using his water bottle and took that opportunity to drop the water bottle, sneak up behind him, and just take possession and score right there.
I remember seeing that clip online,
that
and
clip
it was a legal play, right? It was technically
100% legal, 100% fine, like totally worked. I want to see shit like that. I want to see like fun, good, like hypeable moments.
Those
are the things I think people are looking for.
I remember seeing that clip, and I just was like I was like, this is allowed. And then it's good for the team because all press is good press. You know what the old saying goes, and it's just having a video like that of your team shared 1 million times, viewed 1 million times online.
Yeah, dude.
Just is good for publicity. It's good for the team. So
it's gonna sell some tickets, baby.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna put butts in seats, dude.
Back to my previous conversation. The statistic is right, Kramer.
That's crazy.
The away win percentage since 1996 to now has fluctuated between 30 and 21%. So when a team is on the road, they have a 1 in 4 to 1 in 3 chance of winning their games. That sucks. Like that
has to be the only sport in any sport in the world that has a stat like that.
That's brutal. And what's really going to suck is because of the World Cup, which we have 8 games being played at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium this year. Because of the World Cup and those games happening in the middle of our season, we will be playing a chunk of, I think, 12, maybe 10 away games back to back without a single home game. And that'll be between May and August. So I'm telling you, like, what sucks for away games and then like what fans want to see. And I think it's going to be really hard because there's going to be a big stretch from spring to summer. I mean, middle of the season, like literally just smack dab middle of the season, where we're just going to be on the road getting our asses kicked.
So another thing that I told Kenny about, just because he's not a big soccer guy, is that we are going to see maybe in general for this first half until after the World Cup, this weird fluctuation of like some good teams being bad teams suddenly becoming good.
Yep.
A lot of points or no points being scored due to the fact that a lot of these international players are going back to their countries to go play for them. And of course, they're not. We both know how the turf fields are that they play here in the MLS league, right? So the last thing they want to do is you're not going to risk your ability to go represent, because believe it or not, other countries, like they have good reason to represent their country.
The World Cup matters a lot more than the MLS to some of these players, despite
so
where their
I was explaining that to Kenny, where he was like, I think it's kind of bogus that these players just get to leave middle of season to go represent their country. I mean, where's the loyalty? I was like, Well, now that's just a coin toss of a question now, isn't it? Because, like, where is your loyalty? Your country comes first over the MLS.
Yeah, dude. And like, it's one thing to be like, where's your loyalty? But it's Major League Soccer. I don't, if somebody getting called up to play for Argentina.
His stipulation was, he's like, shouldn't it be in their contract that they can't just dip out? And I was like, well,
we would never have MLS.
It should be,
we would never have MLS players.
Yeah,
like,
it should be in your contract that, like, hey, I should be able to go play for my country. The fact that it's going to be in our country this year is huge because they're not going to have that drowsiness at the end of, like, travel and all the things like that, right? So when they come back, they could be stronger. I mean, look at U.S. men's hockey. Shout out U.S. men's hockey, by the way.
Shout out U.S. men's hockey, dude.
Go, man. Miracle on Ice. Miracle on Ice Part 2. A lot of 90% of those players that all played in Olympic hockey are taking a plane home as we speak right now and are going to be back in the NHL like on Thursday this week.
Our captain of the NHL, I think his name's Matthews, or the captain, not the NHL, of the U.S. men's team, is on the Toronto Maple Leafs. So after absolutely whooping Canada, he's going back right into the locker room with all of them. So, hey guys.
I first day in, I'd wear my medal to
100%.
the locker room.
100%.
Yeah, you're like, you guys ever seen this? You ever seen this?
Dude, absolutely.
That's awesome. But yeah, like I'm saying, it's just like, you know, these guys will come back, but there's no reason for them to risk the injury possibility of tearing your ACL and not living. I mean, because that's your childhood dream it should be your childhood dream to be like, hey, I grew up in maybe not such a good part of Argentina, Brazil, or something like that. And by all odds and by God's grace, I'm here right now, have the ability to like be in front of billions of people.
Yeah, 100%. We wouldn't have players. We wouldn't have the MLS that we have if we forbid them from playing in the World Cup or in any like the CONCACAF or any of those other country representing leagues. Also, always worth noting that while we will have players called up to play for their countries, so will every single team in the MLS. So I feel like it has like a decent stabilizing effect across the whole league.
It's going to be a strange season. That's like all I want to get across really is that like this is going to be a very interesting season because I have been keeping up with the MLS a lot more just as an Atlanta United fan the past couple of years. So I wasn't so deep in touch with it when the last World Cup came around. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see how they adapt and play, or how these games go and seeding and everything. It's like it kind of these teams that were written off to not be as good for the season, I imagine don't have a lot of those star-studded players that play for another country. Yeah. So maybe this is their opportunity to maybe they can sneak in the playoffs while you can get a bunch of wins while the teams are mixed and matched. And then after the World Cup, you could have a losing streak and potentially still get in there.
Yeah, dude, that's a huge argument for homegrown players, like players that we can get from Georgia, train, right out of the academy. We just traded out 2 players, which sucks, but is sick. Noah Cobb was one of them. They're homegrown guys that are like from like Ackworth and like Georgia, and they ended up on sometimes the starting 11. Like they would be on the team, when the whistle's blown, and that's because of situations like this, where it's just like, okay, we've got to fill some depth here, and those guys got so good that we were able to trade them for a lot of value. Which is good for the for the team, but sucks because it was just fun to watch them like grow up with the sport. And then I like checked out for a season. When I came back, I was like, oh, how's that? Oh, he's gone. But it's a good argument for having those guys. And so I know that there's a lot of emphasis on that, and that's something that Guzan talked about in his like press release when he talked about his new role he was taking on. He said he wanted to do a big emphasis on the homegrown players and scouting from within the state, which I think is pretty rad, pretty cool.
Yeah. Absolutely. And just, bouncing back off that FIFA World Cup and everything, I think it gives just an opportunity to see if we have, a certain amount of players that are leaving. It gives us the ability to see our farm system and see, hey, let's put these young guys out there. Let's see what they got going on and give them the experience that they need to become better players. Because from my understanding, we have a great farm. Like it's almost like our the Atlanta Braves, like our farm system to bring players up. We've by far one of the most advanced and best training facilities out of any other MLS.
100%.
Team.
Maybe
that,
second to like LA Galaxy and Miami, but
right, or maybe New York, the Red Bull, right?
Yeah,
but I mean, you know that you've passed that facility 100 times probably. The one in Smyrna, like it's crazy. I mean, it's a legit academy.
Yeah, dude, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. I think what I am curious about with the World Cup impact is what the bounce back is going to be like. Because, okay, so we have the away game stretch where we're not going to have any home games for 3 straight months.
So we're going to lose almost 10 games in a row.
We're probably going to lose 10 games in a row. And that's just expected for any team statistically, according to
that's not
fucking
even,
footy
that's
stats.
That's not even you being pessimistic. That's you being a logical, thinker.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the numbers. And then, but after that, we then have a stretch of home-only games, which is kind of sick and kind of fun. So
we're gonna have to catch one, man. I mean,
we should do a 3-game run, just go 3 back-to-back, see if we can watch what happens, because
that was
usually it's 1 or 2 a week, and they're alternating between home and away. So for maybe there to be just 2 days in a row almost at Mercedes-Benz Stadium where it's just Atlanta United playing.
This is getting old. This is the new music festival where we just go to 2 back-to-back games and go to bed by 9. There you go.
on Marta by 8.
Good day today, boys. Let's call it.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
And just with that home stretch and everything like that, it's just speaking about going to games. That's another thing I was telling Kenny about, because again, he's never been to a game. He's like, yeah, I feel like the attendance and the crowd there is always so electric. That's why I want to go to a game. Like everybody always seems so pumped. I'm like, yeah, $5 beers, $5 hot dogs, and you paid maybe $30 for your ticket. It's great.
Dude.
It's what sports is supposed to be.
It's super cheap. Also, he's right. The fans are electric. I mean, that's the Major League Soccer expectation. I've heard the quote from someone grouchier than me, and it's like every Major League Soccer fan is just role playing being British, and they just get up front and try to do chants and cheers and stuff. But even capturing a third of that energy is still pretty fucking sick live. We love.
I agree, and the thing about here in Atlanta too is that we have such a huge foreign population, having one of the most international airports in the entire world, if not the most international traveled airport in the world, that it brings a lot of immigrants and people of different countries that all grew up with soccer. And the fact that we got a team here, those 10 years ago was massive. And people are like, oh, why is it it's always so packed? You see videos, everyone looks like they're having so fun. It's yeah, because those other people from those other countries grew up watching, growing up watching their club teams in basically high school bleachers. And now they're like, I could pay $35 to be in this nice comfy seat and get pretty drunk. This is amazing.
Yes. It's a stupid deal, dude. God bless Arthur Blank for the $5. What's it? Feed a family of 4 under $30. Wasn't that his
something
promise?
like that? Yeah, it's you can get chicken tenders, 2 things of chicken tenders, 2 beers, and a thing of popcorn, all for under $20 or something.
Yeah,
it's
dude,
ridiculous.
When the people rise up and start killing billionaires, Arthur Blank, I'll give you a pass. I'll give you a pass. You're pretty chill. I don't think he's a billionaire, but he took care of us.
Yeah, I still think you should have been a little harsher on your coaching staff after that Super Bowl, but that's neither here nor there.
Definitely. But he's at least getting the text that says don't come to school tomorrow. You know what I mean? Okay, let me end with you. Unless you've got anything else you want to cover, I want to end on my most exciting, but the thing I'm most excited about for this season.
Yeah, please go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, end on what you're most excited about to see this year and what your expectations kind of are to see what comes next throughout this season.
Well, I'll before I end it. Let me hit you with this. The players to watch, right?
Okay.
Miguel Almiron, he's now our captain. He and Tata are the hero and the sidekick of the redemption arc, right? That's if that duo can work, recreating the magic of 2018, they're gonna everyone's going to, claim it's them. Everyone's going to give the credit to them. Latte Loth is a striker. He was sick last season, but I feel like got underutilized and also experienced a little bit of that late season unpaid too much fatigue. If they play well, I don't expect them to do that. And then you got Tomas Jacob, our new right back, who was playing really, really well the last time that we saw clips of him. And then Stian Gregerson, our center back, who under Tata. So Tata's formation that he always does is a 4-3-3, which he likes to have three attackers up front, three midfielders with the center or one of the wingers playing almost a fourth attack. And so that's why you see people like Saba Labjanidze, who's a winger, sprinting up the side of the field and being in front of all the attackers sometimes, and kicking it back in for assists. But I like that we now have a star center back that we've underutilized with this new formation that Tata's kind of known for, where he utilizes people from the middle of the back kind of coming up as attacks. So I'm excited to see that work. And those are the players that, if it's working, you'll want to watch for. I think I'm skeptical of the hype until I see it. And I think I would wait until the first home game, which I think is March 7th, to know. Because like I said, you can only win 1 in 4 away games, which is so fucking stupid, dude. You also, I realized what screwed those stats over, Kramer, is we were not counting draws.
Right.
So
okay, that's what I thought. Okay,
when we were like, why does 50 and 25 not equal 100? It's where draws are the other 25% of that.
Oh my gosh, that means you what is it? You're almost at 50% draw on away games.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
that's crazy. That is just so. Yeah, it seems like Atlanta United games. You have more of a chance of. Yeah, don't watch away games.
Don't watch away games.
Don't watch away games. That's if you want to really get into the season and really enjoy watching this team, don't watch away games, because you're gonna watch either a scoreless game or we get our butts kicked. So
or occasionally a blowout. And it's awesome, and it's rock and roll.
True.
And we're gonna have at least, I would say, I think if there's 8. No, I think it's 12. The 12 away games without coming to a home one. We're gonna have to win at least 4 of those to still be in like playoff standing at all. So,
which statistically speaking, if we win in 1 and 4, we should win 2 of those.
Yeah, we could do it. So we'll see what happens. This is what I'm the most excited about this season. This shit is so fucking cool. This is their like season kit this year. And the new jerseys are all about the 1996 Olympics, because it's the 30-year anniversary of the Atlanta Olympics. So they've got these like vintage, sick-ass retro jerseys. They put the Roman numerals back
ATL
in the stitching.
Crest.
The ATL crest is in there. They've got the year. It says big moments are born here. Like, I'm all about this shit. I'm absolutely buying this. And it's going to come with like, scarves, hats, accessories. Like, this is what you'll see in the stadium all this year, which I'm super
I don't have a jersey, so this is a great
This is the one
excuse.
You're getting.
Also, I'm turning 30 this year. Atlanta, so this is great. It's
Look
the
at
30-year
you.
anniversary of me and the Olympics.
Look at you. Big moments are born here is the tagline for this jersey, and you are a big moment. You were born
and
here.
I was born here. It's beautiful. It's poetic, honestly.
Yeah,
and
dude.
For you, for the audio listeners, we just explained the new kit that Atlanta United has this year. Please go look it up. It is sick. It pays huge homage to those old 90s retro colors we were used to seeing, kind of like the old tan and the green that you would see at the Atlanta Olympics in 96. And if you're, born in the 2000s, yeah, man, that was a billion years ago. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, we're dinosaurs. Yeah, this kit, this jersey in particular reminds me of the torch that's hanging out. Like in my neck of the woods in Summerhill.
It's the same color basis as the logo for the 96 Olympics. Yeah. It's incredible.
Super rad, dude. Anyway,
I'm excited, man. It's gonna be.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. It's going to be a great season. We'll definitely have you on, again after, more games and everything.
Yeah.
So, in the next couple months, we'd love to have you back on. And
Would
then
love to be
let's
here.
also, we'll catch a couple games.
100%.
Evie's got to go see her first one.
She's definitely coming to her first game. We're going to get a little earmuffs and a tiny jersey. That's going to be the cutest thing anybody's ever seen. And I'll be sure to have her on the podcast as soon as she has developed opinions on their coaching strategy and on, what she thinks Arthur Blank should be doing next with front office.
You got to teach her disappointment from an early age, and that she
comes from a Jets family, so it's just kind of like born into her blood.
That's called being resilient.
Yeah, it's Jets and Atlanta sports. So I just think that she's going to be a tough girl,
Yeah, she's going to have high standards because her sports teams have always been low. So.
I hope that's the message.
Well, I appreciate having you, man.
Thanks for having me, dude.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Evan, it's been a pleasure.
Pleasure as always. Talk soon.
See ya. Thank you guys for listening. What an incredible episode. We thank Evan for coming on, and we will definitely see him on some later episodes to talk more about the midseason of Atlanta United. I just want to finish off by saying, again, if, you're ever going through anything in life or anything that's got you down and having you think some, uneasy thoughts, reach out to someone. I promise you are loved way more than you know. And whether you flew here or you grew here, we appreciate you guys listening and appreciate it. You're listening to another episode.
Yeah! ATL on the rise, you know how we do. Beach tree dreams, dirty birds flying through. From the gridiron to the diamond, courts to the pitch. We reppin' ATL sports, every team, every niche. ATL, where the flames ignite. From Truist Park to the bins at night. Dreams take flight, hearts soar high. United we stand, reaching for the sky.